I'm a bi, alright. So I'll probably be taking topic suggestions more than tapping into anything. But I'm a bi in themselves. Remember, Tagaza Refile, we are Africans, and each and every surname has a totem in African cultures. Abanye abo Mutaung, they've got the lion as their totem, Kwena, the crocodile. So with Amabai, for us to go deeper, it's just that it's so much associated with Ubungoma, but some people dream about the ancestral cloths because they're actually connected to their culture. They are connected to who they are. In some families, it's a cultural thing for everyone to have maybe, let's say, an ancestral cloth that has the lion, because Kibo Mutaung, so they resonate with that as their totem. But when you dream of them, and again for me, I always say, if it's from ancestors and they're giving you a gift, then you should know how to use the gift, or how to, what can I say, what are you going to do with that particular cloth that they have asked you to have. Because you cannot dream of each and every cloth and you don't know what it is for. So if you start dreaming of the cloths, it's not just going to be the cloth dreams. There need to be other things that come, and dreams that will confirm that yes, you've got a calling. But other times it can just be your ancestors asking you to buy the cloth because they want to heal. There's a certain ancestor that is coming forward and saying, please buy me a cloth, maybe in GT, because there was someone who had water spirits and they want to heal. So you're not buying it uzoba umgoma or tloba sangoma, but you're buying it to heal. So there are many different reasons why we buy Amabai, or why we dream of Amabai, and you need to really take note of your dreams. But like I said, there's just a lot of things that we are going to cover. The lineup for the next few weeks, it's hectic for me. I think even like from Monday, I'm going to start putting lessons on YouTube, but I'm also going to be coming live to sort of answer. So if you're dreaming of Amabai, please do understand it won't be those dreams only. There needs to be other dreams that support the calling. And if you dream Amabai, you cannot just dream a stack of Amabai sitting there and then you're going to buy and have a whole wardrobe full of Amabai. You need to have a certain person who you can say accounts, or a certain reason why abantu abadala bathi buy this particular buy. So you cannot dream of 3 cloths hanging on the line and then you have to buy them. Otherwise you're going to have a whole closet full of them. And the thing about ancestors, especially if you have not answered the calling, if you have a calling or if you have a gift of dreaming, the minute you buy something for one and you don't even know why you are buying it, the rest are going to come. Then one is going to come asking you to go buy a hat. The next one is going to come asking you to buy a jacket for them. So when you're going to be doing shopping spree for abantu abadala and you don't even know why you're doing it. So there needs to be more than just I'm dreaming of Amabai. There needs to be other things that come into play. And all ancestral cloths have meaning. They've got a certain spirit that they are associated with, or that they are commonly associated with, because Xhosa can give you something that is not even common and make it what you need to do. So yeah, I will unpack that on the upcoming lessons. Like I said, I was just coming on to check how I'm going to do the lives and how does it go on TikTok. Refilwe says, Gogo, if you have been told several times that you have Istunya, which is high, what do? You then talk to your ancestors, Refilwe, like you've been told. What are the things that resonate with you about that? Thank you, Shaya. I don't know if I'm saying it right, T. Is it Hlweli or okay? But I'm just going to stick with TP. I hate mispronouncing people's names. All right. Okay, Refil, with your question, the minute you're told you have a gift or you have a calling, it needs to also resonate with you. When you come in Dumbeni and I give you a diagnosis, you have a calling, it needs to be a confirmation of something that you already know. And if kutwa you have isithunywa, which is high, everybody's gift is high. For me, that's what I always say, that you cannot compare that. You cannot compare that your gift is higher than mine or my gift is higher than yours, because we are all called for what we are called for. Others are called to heal, and you can heal through water, and I cannot heal through water. So does that make mine of healing through fire better than yours? Do you see? So when somebody tells you you've got a gift and it's high, it will be high. It's a gift and you are given it by your ancestors. That is me. That is me. That is my understanding, that we are all gifted at the level that is appropriate for what we need to do. So when they say isithunywa sakho is high, maybe they're saying you need to start the process. But again, it's the same with every spirit, whether isithunywa, whether umguni, whether malobo, whether amatlicha, makosi, whatever you need to do to answer the calling, you need to be directed. Even in isithunywa, I started my journey basically profit because Kganya apostola, and in an apostolic church the spirit is allowed to work, because we had those apostolic churches when the Witchcraft Act came into play, and our ancestors were still trying to appease the ubungoma in us by beating the drums and by not dancing, but sort of like going around, and there will be those that will do whatever, and you will be happy in that church because you were making your spirit come. So isithunywa, it's a very recent spirit, I'll say, in terms of it being classified, because it is more as saying we are talking about the spirit of those who worked through churches, who were working with the Bible, the water. They didn't use imiti, and apogogo they did. It's umuti, because it was the salt that they would take from the sea, or even mkosi dibe they would ditlakopota that sewasho. There's one certain well in Mautse, unfortunately it's closed now, but when you go there you have to give money, and then the well will give you what you need, the swasho that you need. It's a very sacred space. So most of the wells, when you go, and it was still from nature, it was still umuti, because umuti is all the natural things that we do. So when you're told that you have isithunywa that is high, okay, what happens if you don't have signs or not any hints from dreams? Then you need to talk to your ancestors, pray to God, and why do people see this? Why am I not seeing? Sometimes there's a you've got isithunywa, like it's high, but it's not matured enough for you, which is pagamiswe, and you're still gonna spend 10 years of your life before you even realize you've got the gift, because it all comes with the maturity. And believe me when I say that, because I was told from a very young age. I think the first time I remember being, like the first time I captured the moment of someone telling me that I'm gifted, I was about 11, 12 years old. And everything for me unfolded around the ages of 18, 19. So do you see, it does not, because it takes maturity. Even abantu abadala, they will wait for you to reach a certain level to actually take up the gift, because it should be something that you understand. It's a journey that you need to understand, and you need to not only be matured in spirit, but there are things that you're gonna go through that will make you understand your gift. So if you do not have any signs, if you do not have any hints or dreams, do not dismiss, but do not rush into someone telling you it's high. If it's high, you would already be having visions. You would already be seeing how you're gonna work. You would already be, when I come in with a headache, you'll be having my headache when you look at me. So it will already be active. It will be working, and then we can say, yay, Refilo, you know what, we're trying, but there's no way. You will also wake up feeling that I want to pray, because isithunywa, that's what it does. It prays. It wants to heal. It wants to talk you. So if you're not having any signs, Gogo, and if you're not having any hints in your dreams, please do not rush into anything. Just take it easy. The ancestors will talk to you when the time is right, and enjoy your life while you can. That's the advice that I can give you, Gogo. What does it mean if I dream of eating a fish? Okay, any dream that involves eating, is not good. Eating in your dreams, whether you're eating good food, whether you're eating good food, whether you're eating at spur, you've got a fork and knife, I don't care. Any dream that involves eating is not good, Gogo. You need to have, I don't know how long ago did you have the dream, but basically what I always advise is that if you're at home, the first thing that you do in the morning when you wake up, palaza, and you can use salt water. If you have coarse salt, all the better. Use the coarse salt in your water and then, vomit or, sort of like do self-induced vomiting. And then also try to cleanse yourself. Like I say, if you're at home, the basic is salt. You can use salt. But if you do have a healer who can help you, you can go and see the healer, and you can then have the certain muti that we will give you, and then you will also have intizi that you can kota. It's a very bitter concoction, but you can sort of like take that with your tongue and swallow it. Some mix it with water and you drink it with water. Others, you just put it on the hand and you quarter it and then you down it with water, because that bitterness will then have an effect on whatever is lesser that you have. And the other thing that can be done is, the stomach, you can have treatment laxatives that will help you get rid. But if you are dreaming, especially fish is related to water. So if you're dreaming of fish, it could be spirits of the water being misused into dark energies. You've got people batwele with, they'll talk about inyoga, sasemanzini, everything, because water spirits are believed to be powerful. And I want to say believed because for me, each and every spirit is powerful in its own nature for what it is called for. It's not a competition in the spirit world. It's not about I'm more powerful than you. We are the ones who then classify spirit about you, because water spirit can do certain things which Mguni spirit cannot maybe do. And then water spirit, there are certain things that they cannot do that the Nguni spirit can do. So they all have different roles to play. But if you've eaten something, please try to purge and then get help if it's a dream that is reoccurring, and also watch your health, because as in isn't you eat them and only later do they come to be. Then you're someone who's always sick, you've got stomach problems, and then you're sweating in the middle of the night. So just be careful about that. But eating is not good at all. Eating is a sense of emergency. Like I say, if you're at home, you wake up already, you do your purging with your normal salt in the house, and you also bath with salt to get rid of the dark energies. And if it's reoccurring, you also need to have someone at least who can do a protection ritual for you, because sometimes we're not being attacked by dark energies that are specific to us. They come and they find us not protected, and they then attach to us because we are just sitting there. It's easy for anyone to enter and to get out. So it's not really that somebody's directing the dark energies to you. It's just that you are sitting there not protected. And then that's why you will get all those. Gogo, if possible, can you please pray for me? I need a job. My name is Samkelisi, where I am really struggling. We will do that definitely, Samke. We will. I will include you. And I think, in a sense, for me and Dumbin, when I pasha and when I pray, I've got my times. In the morning, I usually pasha for everyone who's gonna come through, for them to assist me to heal, because yes, others are appointments that I slept knowing of, but others are appointments that come in the morning and already I have to see them. During the day, I usually include everyone in their day to say, can they have what is needed for them, and may they have wisdom and the courage and the strength to get through the day. And also involving those we know the unemployment rate in our country, we know the abuse that is going around. There's so much that we need to put emsamo for all of us, and not just for the gifted or the people like me. But when you pray in your space, we need to not be selfish, because you need to understand, I'm praying, I've got a candle. I'm lucky that I've got a candle. I'm lucky that I'm praying in a room that I call my own, in a private space. There's someone who's sleeping under a bridge, who is only praying with what they have, and who's not even aware where the next meal will come from. So yes, I do put everybody, but since you are asking as a special request, I will call your name out as I do my prayers tonight. All right. Another thing, Gogo, I always dream of being in the water with snake, or in the mountain with lions. Yes, TP. You see, the thing, like I told you, that your dreams will have to talk to each other, and that is them talking to each other. You're not just dreaming about Amabai, but you also have this other dreams that will work together with what you have. Water and snakes are usually on Dawa spirit. They are water related. And then, yeah, pleasure, Samke. The lions and the mountains, they'll probably more be, because lions can either be Mguni or Dawa spirit. But if they're up in the mountains, they can be your Nguni spirit coming through and showing you the warriors that you walk with, that your spirit have sort of like the spirit guides that you walk with are more in tune with the lions. And that's where uzothola ukuthi kunomkhulu bubesi, kunomkhulu ngwenyama, those wild cats. That's where most of the names will come from. And that's another thing that we need to understand, that when you've got the calling and kutiwa ungumkhulu bubesi, and we say it's your grandfather, it does not necessarily mean that your grandfather was a lion or your grandfather is a lion. The spirit that you are carrying is not your grandfather's spirit, but it is a similar spirit which your grandfather used to operate on, because it becomes lasekai. So your grandmother or your grandfather could have used the spirit like 10 years, long before you were born, 100 of years before you were born, your great-grandfather. Then they gave it to your grandfather. Then your grandfather is now deceased and they want to pass the gift to you. So it's not to say your grandfather is the one who utwasa umkhulu. No. Utwasa the spirit that umkhulu was using. And that spirit, when you leave, nomuntu ozayo, we're not going to say the generation that comes after me, I'm not going to say that they batwasa unoma. They will be twasaring the spirit that I go with. And that's why even as me, I use the masculine spirits that I have, but when they come, they will still come back as masculine, and it might be now to a boy child. But you don't necessarily twasa your gogo, but it is the spirit that Ugogo was using, and you take the characteristics of that spirit, because with spirit, again, it's all about the environment that your ancestors were in. If because that's how they got their surnames also, which region did they stay at, and what were the animals in those regions. So bank are the characteristics of the animal. You'll be ububesi, you'll be sniffing people, you'll be roaring, you'll be yawning. We see the spirit taking the characteristics of ibubesi, but it does not mean utwasi ibubesi. That's another question that I've been seeing a lot of, and I'm failing to understand it. So I think I can also put it out there to say, Gogo, can I twasa inyoga? Can I twasa a crocodile? Can I twasa ibubesi? You can't. We are given authority above all animals, guys. So if utlotwasa Noah, what is Noah going to, like, what is a snake going to give to you? What kind of benefits are you going to get from a snake when it comes into your world and it wants to control you, or we have to say now utwasi yoga? What exactly are you going to gain from that? But what you can twasa is the spirit of your grandfather that has the heightened characteristics of a snake. So you will be able to heal with your tongue. You will be able to hear when better, amadlozi lawa afuna ukuba phansi, you will most of the time be going down on the ground. You'll be very soft spoken, and everything will just, you'll be able to be in water and on land. So it's about the characteristics more than ngithwasi inyoka or ngithwasi ibubesi or ngithwasi a crocodile or whatever. But it's about the characteristics of the spirit, and it is very much influenced by where those particular ancestors stayed, around what animals did they stay. Gogo, can I ask for when you phalaza, is there any suitable time to do that? Ukfuta. Okay, ukfuta, ukphalaza, those are the rituals that you usually do early in the morning before you get any other influence. Remember, you wake up with an empty stomach, and again, from a health perspective, towards TP, and also from a nursing perspective, the nurse in me. When you phalaza, you need to do it with an empty stomach, because if you do it with food, remember, digestion still needs to happen in the stomach, and when digestion happens, you have chunks of food in your stomach. So when if you vomit immediately after eating, it's more painful than if you are you have not eaten and then you're just vomiting the fluid. So it's always advised to phalaza in the morning, and what I would advise is that you phalaza and then you futa after uphalaza, and that's where we talk about ukuvula ikhanda and ukuvula isifuba, because when you are steaming, the steam is going to open. When you've got blocked sinuses, we ask you to steam, because we want you to open your sinuses. Ubule mahalapa ahau. Steaming helps detox, because you sweat and all the unneeded energies are also released. So you purge first, because ukfuta now, it can make you very tired. You can be dizzy after that, and you won't have the energy to phalaza. So you phalaza first and then you futa, if you have really done ukfuta kahle and you did not cheat. And again, ukfuta, just be careful if you're someone who has problems with your chest, you've got difficulty breathing, it will help. It really does help with loosening up, because it loosens up the mucus. That humid environment, that's what we do in the hospital when we give someone a nebulizer. It's actually ukfuta. It's just that it's a modernized and a more accepted way for all of us, but that's exactly what we do when you give you nebulizers, ukfuta loko, and we loosen the mucus in your lungs so that you can breathe better. But be careful, if you've got problems, do have someone next to you who will be able to help you when you need to get out, because you might feel so weak. And just be careful also not to have your face straight over the steam. Let the steam come to you under the blanket. Do not be in, because when you get out of there, people like myself, we get out of there red, burned. But yes, that's how you would do it early in the morning when you wake up. And when I say early in the morning, again, refill, some people are not, when you're not used to something, early in the morning can be 6 o'clock. But if you're early bird like myself, you'll probably wake up at 3, do your 3 o'clock prayer, and then you already get into the cleansing and your day has started. Can I ask, what does it mean when I dream of black and white beads in my wrist? All right, beads can mean different things to different people. Like I've said earlier to TP, this kind of dreams, they don't go alone. There should be other dreams that complement the dream that you're talking about. There should be other dreams that sort of like directs you to other things for us to say you've got a calling. There are certain cultures where black and white can be a beat that is giving rite of passage, and there are other times when the beads are your ancestors asking to be assisted, to be healed. So when you dream of ancestral things, the first thing that we look at is that are you having itlozi, like in Latin, itlozi lendiki, or a spirit that needs to be healed, in simple terms. Do you have a spirit that needs to be cleansed? Before the beats I dreamt of, okay. Okay, with like, yes, you see, now you've got other dreams that come with that. Black and white, it can be associated with water spirits more than anything, but I know there are banders that use the black and white for umguni. Others, they use it for you before ungene entwasweni. So before you go entwasa, before you reach that stage of uktwasa, they put the black and white one, and then after uktwasa you will put the red and white one, where then it will be an indication that we palaza, you know, the sacrifice was made, and now you are just nearing your graduation. So it can mean a lot of things, Gogo. It can, and when you dream of beads and ancestral things, they can also be a direction for you to find ukobela and impande. There are certain initiation schools where you cannot use the black and white, like they don't use black at all. When you come with black things, they tell you no, not here, we don't use black. You cannot dream of a black bead, you cannot dream of a black cloth, you cannot dream of this. Black is not what we use. And then you've got those impanders where black and white is part of their traditional wear, and then you've got others that understand that each Dlozi wears what feels right for them. They will ask your Dlozi ukuthi, what do you want to wear? So you take those into note, because once you start the journey, or once it is time for you to start the journey, those are the little things that will mean the most for you to identify the kobela that you have, to identify the mpande that you have to go to. And some of the other beads, like I say, they're just there for you to wear to heal. And after you have healed, you can take them off and not wear them anymore, or wear them at a specific time. All right. And then I dream of snakes and me being in school lately. I am worried. All right. Snakes, you know, your dreams need, like, you will write them down, and you will write your dreams down, because with snakes, it can mean a lot of things. It can be your water people. With the snakes, we need to understand, are you on the ground, like, you know, on earth, or are you in the water? And if you are on water, are you inside, under the water? Dreams, guys, are not as simple as I dreamt of a snake. There's a lot that needs to be unpacked with a dream. And what I'm going to do is just try to give general, so that at least you've got an idea of where you're going. But snakes, Gogo, definitely there seems to be a calling there. Being at school is an indication of ipehlo. You will be going to another school, and now this is the school of life. That's why we talk about like uktwasa kupheli, because even after initiation, you might start utwasa umguni nomunzawo, and you do your nguni well, and your ndawo is also done fairly well. And it's not because ukobela did something wrong. Like I said, it takes the maturity of the spirit for it to reach a certain maturity, and for it to now be able to tell you where I need to go from here. So 2, 3 years, even 5 years after Utwasile, then the spirit of Ndawo comes back, and the things that you need to go complete. As you finish the Ndawo one, you then have another spirit coming, because you start from primary, you go to high school, and then you go to tertiary. Then you still, when you get to tertiary, you've got your undergraduate, you've got your post-basic, then you're going to do your master's, your PhD. So it's all those. You don't just twasa everything at once. You need to first understand umguni, and once you understand your blood closi, then you can go and understand it was langaphandle, mostly being the Ndawo spirit. Then once you've understood that for a couple of years, and now you know how it operates and what you are, then all the others can come through. Or you start with Istunya, which is the foundation. You need to have those principles. You need to understand how to treat people, because more in Istunya, we are taught about confidentiality. You are taught about the importance of not finding yourself as superior than others, and understanding that there's a higher power that works for all of us. So all those principles are important. But yeah, once you start dreaming of school, it could be an indication that Idlozi is ready to go and learn. So phahla about it. Ask the ancestors to give you clarity about everything. More importantly, do not be in a situation where Gogo Noma is saying, you can come to me, I'll give you my address, and I'll help you. You need to twasa, and I'll help you twasa. It doesn't work like that. Because they know the kind of mpande that they need. And yeah, maybe one day you see me with my black and white beads and you're like, yes, Gogo, I dreamt of them, so it means you are. No, it doesn't work like that. There needs to be more dreams, and there needs to be a connection. So phahla that Dlozi can give you clearer directions, and they can direct you to the right person to help, because akuthwasi Dlozi. So even the school, it's not about you, it's about the Dlozi. If bekuthwasa wena, then you would need to be going through a rebirth. Uktwasa is a transformation from one nature to another. So we are transforming Idlozi from the spirit, and we are bringing it into the physical realm to help it work with you and help Idlozi to understand you are working through a channel, and the channel is Ikotwana, who will be myself. That's why you need Ikobela, because Idlozi lesikhulumela. You're going to invoke the spirit, and the spirit is going to talk. When you're at home, how are you going to hear the spirit? Because it will be possessing your body as we use it. But I don't like the word possess, because possess means you are held hostage. But it will be using your body as a vessel for it to talk. And that is why we need to go to that school. That is why we need to have Ikobela, so that they can help us communicate with Idlozi while we are in the trance, and give us the information that Idlozi gave. So yes, school is Ipehlo. Hi Gogo, what does it mean to dream yourself at home but your child left outside in the dark? You need to be spiritually connected, Amanda. It means that you have left your child, which is your... Oh, what am I doing? Okay, sorry, I pressed something there. What it means that you have... Remember, spirit, we always see it as a child before we actually go through the process of Uktwaza or through the process of spiritual awakening, because it is a child. It needs to be groomed, and it needs to be brought into a space where it can understand what it means to be in the physical world. You, when you were born, you were still between the spirit and the physical, all of us. That's why it takes 2 years for you to get used to this environment. So imagine you've been carried by this person who's fully grown, who's been eating things that you don't like. I'm eating everything that I like, and it doesn't sit well with me, and I don't understand. It's because I'm also carrying somebody else. There's a spirit that I'm carrying that does not like, for an example, yogurt. You don't like eggs, and you don't know why. You yourself, you wake up and you feel like, I want eggs, but once the eggs are there and they're sitting, you don't want them because of the people that you're carrying. So now you are at the age of 18, having your own understanding of the world, having to give birth to the spirit, or the spirit having wuti. That's why we talk about the process of Uktwasa, because even Idlozi, the minute you start evoking, you don't start evoking epehlweni and already we're not hlahlambili. That's why kuthiwa sihlahlambisa Idlozi. We needed to grow, and that's why you will need your Kobela to be there to guide you and to guide the spirit. But if you are dreaming and you've left the child outside in the dark, please try to connect spiritually. I see you've already asked how to phahla. Please go to my YouTube channel, Learning with Noma. There's video there about Ukphahla, and there's also another one that I loaded earlier this week, Ukphahla Part 2, reintroducing yourself to your ancestors. So yeah, I think you can go there for now, and I will also get into it maybe with other live teachings that are coming very soon. Like I said, I didn't think that I'll have people join me, and I thought I was going to be here for 30 minutes just to check how the live goes. But yes, Amanda, please check that video, and we will discuss Ukphahla more in details, I'm sure, during the course of next week. Ever since I was in high school, I've always seen snakes from time to time. I'm worried. Why? Wena nonjabulo, umazibugo. I don't know if Mazibugo is your surname from home, but maybe you've got a snake as a totem, a kaya. You've got Abu Majola, and they know when they see a snake, it's a blessing. So maybe you need to find out what relation you have with snakes. Maybe your people lived around an area with snakes. Maybe that's how your people come. For me, I know I've got a particular grandmother who likes to come with the spirit of a snake, and I've passed that for her to say, please stay in that way as a spirit. I'm afraid of snakes. I'll probably run should I find a snake in Dumbin. Her kid to be a what? Can mothers use muti for her kid to be a jackpot? I don't understand. A jackpot in what way? Like you use them to have men, or to have men love their... I don't understand how you can use a kid to be a jackpot unless you are selling your kid to men and you're making them attractive and you're asking them to bring money. But yeah, they can. Mothers can even give their sons or their daughters so that you don't get married. Anything can be done under the sun. Dream of going to school with my son. He's 7. Both of us wearing uniform, meaning please go. School, like I said, it's going to Parental. And it's a child. He's 7 years. So uniform, we wear uniform. You're red, scared. That is uniform. Does it mean he has a calling too? No. But they do show you that if you do not attend to your calling, then it might be a problem to your son. Remember, we say bana ba shapua ka bana ba otlwa ka bokgopo ba batswadi. And bokgopo not necessarily mean you hate people and you curse at people, but if you refuse certain callings, and that's where you find people being told, you cannot tasa your mother's spirit. That was her calling, that was her journey. But what it means is that you were born from someone who was gifted and they did not agree to their gift. So Dlozi is like, we are taking over. And again, with callings, it can skip a generation because the gift comes from Abogogo Nabomkulu. You cannot have a direct gift from your parents because your parents are still alive. It's someone who has passed on. Or when you have a gift, it is given by someone who has passed on, who's now Itonga, and passing the spirit unto you so that it can manifest. When your mother is still alive, you cannot say, I've tossed the same Dlozi as mama. How can you toss the same Dlozi? This Dlozi must be mad. How can it be true? I mean, as a person, you've got your own spirit. So you cannot be, I cannot be Norma the spirit, and then I also have my sister being Norma the spirit. We both have two different ways. But yes, please be careful about that. Patha about it. And like I said with you, ask direction. What do they want for you to do? They must direct you to say, this is how you can further answer the calling for us. And also just put your son in Upatha Kwagoguti. I'm agreeing to everything. Do not overtake my son. Or if he is carrying his own gift, because it can also mean that he's also gifted and he's called. Let him grow and answer the gift when he's also matured enough to understand what's going on. Because someone who's 8, and I'm not judging, but sometimes you take a 7-year-old, a 6-year-old, so that is a 7-year-old. When the child is 16, 18, they become rebellious, they leave the ndumba, they leave his abadala, and we want to blame that child. But honestly, you have robbed the child of their of their childhood. The minute you take it into Zetlos, you must understand you walk nabomkulu, people who will have certain things for you in a certain way. People who will not feel okay if you're wearing a short skirt. I can't wear skirts above my knee. They make me so uncomfortable. I can't wear skirts all the time because I need to be in trousers in order for me to feel comfortable in some events. So it's very difficult. And you need to understand Idlozi. So you're a 7-year-old who's still understanding the world. How are you then going to help this other spirit that you're carrying? And it, not just one spirit, it will be spirits that you're carrying. How do you then help them understand a world that you do not understand yourself? When you don't dream at all after you you have a calling, but you dream sometimes. Okay. Ancestors don't only talk through dreams, They don't only talk through dreams. There are other channels that our ancestors can use. It can be visions. feelings, clear audience where you hear something. And also, if you don't dream, just take into consideration what you are eating. Sometimes it might be the diet that you're having. Take into consideration what you are watching, how much time do you spend around TV, because all this technology can influence our brains at night. So always take care. Otherwise, you can do cleansings. Salt for me is always the best. Coarse salt. Sometimes just soak with coarse salt in your bath. Put water and use coarse salt in your bath, or even Epsom salt. You can take the Epsom salt and just have a bath with Epsom salt. Salt always helps to cleanse dark energies, and with more details when I will share, but there are baths that you can do with the milk. Milk is a purifier in itself, and you can use those to help you with your dreams, and we will share all those in good times. Kusho kuthini ukuphupha inyosi? Yo, I don't know, what was the inyosi doing whenever I'm saying, what was it doing? It can mean a lot of things. I understand. Hey, and if I understand correctly, inyosi is a bird. Guys, I'm still learning the Zulu and the Xhosa, but that is a bird. Like I said earlier with the other dreams, it can be someone, a totem for you. There are people who call themselves by the different birds. So it can be a totem. It can be an indication for your ancestors to say, when you see this bird, know that we are here, because you are living in South Africa, and maybe your ancestors are from Zambia, like deep, your old, your lineage, your bloodline starts there. I've got my grandfather, my mother's, like my direct grandfather, my mother's father is from Mozambique, Shai. So when my people come, they come from far. Mozambique is far. They are not going to come here as small ants. It's a very far place to come as an ant mode of transport. What happens when it... Oh, my battery is low. Okay. What happens when it always appears on your dreams and you feel that they are trying to talk to you? Kganya, what are we talking about again? Now I have to go up. Hey, the snake. Okay, if it's talking to you, then it's your ancestor. That is the form that your ancestor have taken, and you just need to know who is your ancestor, and how you connect with your ancestors. Justin says you're awesome, you're stronger than you think, you're brave, you're worth it. All right, thank you, Justin. Once as well, right? What? Oh, nice as well, right? Okay, thank you. So if it's talking to you, it can just mean that it's your ancestor and it's taking that form, but you need to know who is that ancestor, and how are they going to work with you? What kind of gifts do they come bearing? Because that's one of the things that we also need to take into consideration, guys. Don't just agree ukuthi nginedlozi. If kuthiwa unedlozi and I tell you that you are gifted uzoba umguni, and umguni is umkhulu. What is umkhulu bringing as a gift? Because it needs to be a gift. You can have idlozi, and idlozi lakhona, it's someone who is asking to be healed. So kumele senze a cleansing ritual, and that's it. They can go join ancestors and rest in peace. So not all the dlozis that we possess require for us to have into us. So, and all the rest, can you please forgive me, guys? I promise I'll try to come back tonight at 10 o'clock. Sorry, at 9 o'clock, probably to 10, so that we can continue. My battery is low and I have a consultation in 30 minutes. So I also need to go and prepare for that. Okay. You're learning about spirituality, Remy. Anything spiritual, African spirituality, everything that you need to know about spirituality after being told you have a gift. That is a question I'm going to write down, Verostra, so you can come and join tonight. How do you prepare when you're told that you've been gifted? Yo, wena, Chabalal, can you please try to use English? Yo, kushokti nupupa yeah. Please, guys, my son is only... Please use English. I don't know Zulu. I can't even read Zulu. Kibwa Sesotho. So yeah, I'm still learning my Zulu. So when you use so much Zulu, I just see Popanje and everything else sort of like disappears into it. But like I said, guys, my battery is literally 10%. I will see you guys tonight. Join me tonight around 9 o'clock as we answer more questions and we learn more about spirituality. Thank you so much for joining me. Thank you, Tagozani. Thank you, Shoti. Yes, everybody, please go to YouTube and subscribe. Learning with Noma. There's more content that's gonna come. Thank you. I don't know how to get out of the live. Where do I press? Oh, yeah, here's a button. All right. Thank you. Bye. Check later.